Yo, what is up guys? Stos here and welcome back to another episode of Dose of Stos, where today I'm going to be breaking down the GOAT debate between Michael Jordan and LeBron James. Now, I personally think LeBron James is the GOAT, guys. I might get a lot of hate for that just because there's so many people that full-heartedly believe Michael Jordan is the GOAT, but I'm just going to break this down for you guys. I think there's this stigma about Michael Jordan being the GOAT of basketball, and I think the stigma, it's not a stigma necessarily, but I don't want to call Michael Jordan an industry plant. That sounds crazy, but hear me out, right? Okay, in the music industry, right? There's always this term called industry plant where a music industry or record label will take an artist and they are just going to shove them into the mainstream media in hopes of them being like their guy, you know what I mean? Their poster boy. Now, the NBA needed a face of the league back in the 90s. Now, just hear me out when I say this, guys. Hear me out. There's going to be Michael Jordan fans screaming at their phone or their computer right now, but just listen, okay? The NBA needed a poster boy. In the 90s, who was the best player? Let's be 100% honest. Of course, it was Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was so good back then. They were like, you know what? This is our guy. We are taking Michael Jordan and we are going to promote the hell out of him. We are going to make money with this guy. You know what I mean? So they just made the Jordan brand. They exposed Jordan to other countries, to the world. You know what I mean? Jordan became an idol. He became a way of life to some people. You know what I mean? That Jumpman logo is recognized across the globe. It's recognized across the globe, dude. If you ask a random person, yo, do you know who Michael Jordan is? 90% of the time, they're going to say, yeah, it's Michael Jordan. So just hear me out. If LeBron James came before Michael Jordan, I think it would be the exact same thing. I think people would think LeBron James is by far the GOAT. You know what I mean? Michael Jordan, he doesn't have a chance of beating LeBron, you know what I mean? So I'm just saying, if LeBron was from the 90s and Jordan was right now, I think it would be just the exact opposite. It would just be flip-flopped. And I'm not saying that's why Jordan isn't the GOAT, but I'm saying that helps his case a lot, because when you come first in something, when you're the first to do something, that's always what's remembered so much more. You know what I mean? Like, people have been told for years since Michael Jordan retired or since he was playing that he's the greatest of all time at basketball. He's the greatest. Nobody can be better than him. It's Black Jesus. Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player to ever play. You know what I mean? But LeBron James, he comes along and he's the chosen one too, which I think just adds so much to his argument. I mean, Michael Jordan, yeah, you can argue, oh, he had to make a name for himself. He had to come up. He had to work hard for it. Yeah, he did, man. He was cut in high school. He didn't make varsity basketball his freshman or sophomore year of high school. And I know what that's like. I've been cut from a team. Like, it's not easy. But at the same time, think about what it's like being LeBron. Being told that you're supposed to be so great from like the age of 14, dude. Like, this dude was on magazines in high school. Like, he's had so much weight on his shoulders from the get-go. We haven't really talked much about the real basketball aspect, but I just wanted you guys to understand what I meant by that. I just think this image that Jordan has been implemented and just been burned into so many people's minds that it's almost like hard for them to admit that there's possibly a player better than them. Like, this is something that could happen with Tom Brady in the future. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's so unlikely to happen with Brady because, like, his accolades are just so out of there, like out of this world. But the same thing could happen for Brady. If somehow somebody magically wins 7 Super Bowls or something, 5 or 6 Super Bowls as a quarterback and just has insane stats, like, people are going to argue then that he's better than Brady, you know what I mean? And it's going to be the same stigma because right now everybody's got that burned in their head for sure that Brady's the GOAT. So it's the same thing with Jordan and LeBron. But I think LeBron's longevity is what makes him the GOAT for me. Like, dude, this dude's on year 19. Like, his shoe is legit like the LeBron 19. Like, when Jordan started getting to 19, like, that was once he was retired and stuff, you know what I mean? Like, this dude LeBron has been playing forever. He's He's been playing since the year after I was born. Like, that's ridiculous, dude. Like, you've been playing my entire life of basketball. Sorry, there was someone on the screen. But, like, dude, you've been playing my entire life. You've been playing basketball in the NBA. And you're still one of the best players in the league. If you guys look at some stats, like, some of the career accolades and stats that LeBron has are never going to be broken. Like, I saw a stat the other day of most 25-point games by an NBA player. LeBron James is in first, and he's ahead of second by like 200 games or something, dude. Like, it's so crazy, some of the stats he has. And the 6-0 argument is such bogus, in my opinion, because it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, you're saying, like let's take this into account. LeBron James lost his first ever finals appearance against the San Antonio Spurs when he was in his like 4th year in the league. The Spurs were a dynasty. Like, their team was so much better than that Cavs team. If you guys don't know, that Cavs team LeBron took to the finals was so bad. Like, I'm talking when he was young. Like, that team was terrible. And they got clapped by the Spurs. So what? So now LeBron can't be the GOAT because he has a finals loss. Is that what we're saying? He can't be the GOAT because he's never going to be undefeated in the finals now. So he's just, since he lost that first finals appearance, he's just not the GOAT because MJ's 6-0. That don't make sense to me. MJ was struggling his first years to get out of the first round. LeBron gets eliminated in the 4th year of his career in the finals, and that just like that negatively impacts his career. You know what I mean? I don't get that. I don't get how he's supposed to be undefeated in the finals to be the GOAT. Like, man's been to the finals 10 times. You're most likely not going to have the best team all 10 times. You know what I mean? And let's not even bring up the fact that this man had to play the 73-9 Warriors, what was it, 4 years in a row? Like, dude, this dude played them 4 years in a row. That's crazy. And you cannot tell me, no, not a single NBA fan can ever tell me that LeBron could have done more than he did those 2 series that the Warriors had Kevin Durant. Like, dude, it was just raps. That team is the greatest team of all time. MJ haters gonna hate on me again because they're gonna say it's the 96 Bulls. Dude, screw that. Nah, the 73-9 Warriors were crazy, dude. Who's guarding Clay, KD, and Steph, dude? No, the Bulls are not winning, man. That's honestly my opinion. Also, y'all can hate on me for that. Maybe I'm just a youngin that thinks this era of the NBA is the greatest. And honestly, I do. I think so many people also, this is a little side tangent, but people hate on the current NBA. I'm telling you, man, half of the dudes in this league would be dunking on dudes from the 80s. You know what I mean? Like, you can't jump with these guys now. I don't even understand that argument, man. I really don't understand that. Like, you're gonna get better with time. Humans get better with time. They evolve. I do not understand how people legit think 80s basketball was better than now. Like, those guys would actually be like playing better than the guys that are playing right now. I physically don't get that. I mentally don't get that. I just don't understand it. But yeah, I think LeBron James is the GOAT. I think the 6-0 argument is stupid. I think his longevity is just so insane. And I think it's harder to win an NBA championship now than it was in the 90s, 100%. Like, the amount of great teams you have now, like, the league is top heavy nowadays. It didn't used to be like that in the 90s. Nowadays, you're going to have 10 really, really good teams, and the rest of the league is going to be struggling. You know what I mean? And that's how it is, dude. And those 10 teams all can win a championship. I was literally talking about that in a different video, but I'm telling you guys, there's so many teams that can win a championship this season. The Lakers and Nets, who were 2 of the favorites, aren't even playing that well this year. Although the Nets are the 1 seed, they're not even playing that well this year. And then you got teams like the Warriors, the Suns, the Jazz. Like, those 3 teams are amazing. Those are real finals contenders. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. That's all. And stay tuned in for another episode of Dose of Stos next time. Catch y'all.
No cap shit. She a bad bitch. Pretty face, nice waist, not average.